Hey guys, this is Nick. The great 2020 is almost over, and we're back with the last monthly list of this year, featuring the top 10 best PC games of December 2020. Few of the most anticipated and the last batch of 2020 games are going to release this December. Without any further ado, let's dive into the list. Cyberpunk 2077. The most hyped and most anticipated game of 2020. Yes, the Cyberpunk 2077 is an upcoming first-person open-world role-playing video game being developed by CD Projekt Red. The game is available for pre-order and already it has become one of the most sold video games on Steam even before release. In Cyberpunk, you play as a V, a mercenary whose voice, face, hairstyles, body type and modifications, background, and clothing are customizable. The perk tree branches into melee, guns, hacking, hand-to-hand combat, assassinations, and much more. You can upgrade and purchase cyberware implants, and black markets offer military-grade abilities. In-game, you can take cover, aim, run, jump, double jump, and slide. There are 3 types of ranged weapons, all of which can be customized and modified. Weapon use increases accuracy and reloading speed, which are manifested in character animations. Without a doubt, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be one of the biggest RPGs of gaming history. Next, Immortals Fenyx Rising. It is an action RPG where you play as stranded Greek soldier Fenyx, who must rescue the Greek gods from the evil titan Typhoniu. The game is set in a large open world, consisting of 7 distinct regions inspired by the Greek gods. The player character is accompanied by a companion bird named Phosphor, which can identify locations of interest on the map. You can create your character, customizing their gender, voice, and the appearances using Aphrodite's beauty chair at any point. You can traverse the world quickly through climbing cliffs, riding on a mount, and flying using the wings of Daedalus. You can also complete various side objectives and optional puzzles for better rewards. The game has a stamina system, so you have to manage Fenyx's stamina during combat. You can also learn new skills and abilities and upgrade armor and weapons by collecting sufficient crafting resources in the game's world.
Combat is a big part of the rhythm.
Next, Call of the Sea. It is an adventure story with a female protagonist and lots of puzzles. It's an otherworldly tale of mystery set in 1930s South Pacific. You will explore a lush island paradise. Trust us, its visual style is stunning and you will just glare at the amazing scenery for minutes. Players also need to solve puzzles and unlock secrets in the hunt for your husband's missing expedition. The plot features the protagonist Nora, who has crossed the ocean following the trail of her missing husband's expedition and finds herself on a wild island, a long-forgotten place, dotted with the remnants of a lost civilization. The tropical island is brimming with fantastic sights made in Unreal Engine 4, lots of ruins and occult mysteries. Noah is fully voiced by Cissy Jones from Firewatch and The Walking Dead. There is a lot of suspense around the story, and you can expect some surreal surprises. Next, Empire of Sin. It's a turn-based strategy game with the player taking the role of a crime boss in the Prohibition era to gain control of Chicago by 1933. Players can manage their empire of questionable businesses such as speakeasies, casinos, and brothels, protecting them from the law and rival mafia gangs, while trying to extend their own influence by taking over others. The game uses alcohol as a type of currency to extend the empire's influence. You can take over other businesses, which involves combat, during which the game enters a turn-based mode similar to XCOM, or can occur through other persuasive means including short-term alliances with other gangs to defeat a common foe. Combat and other situations are impacted by various traits and perks the character has, and may cause them to act differently from what the player orders. Next, Twin Mirror, Lost on Arrival. It is an adventure game played from a third-person view. Players control the investigative journalist Sam, who has returned to his hometown of Basewood, West Virginia. The game has an intricate storyline anchored in the gritty reality of a small-town America. The environment is interactive and its objects are obtainable. Who Sam speaks to is optional and based on the state of investigation. Every decision, interaction, and discovery influences the direction of Sam's investigation and ultimately determines how much of himself he's willing to sacrifice. Players can reconstruct key events, revisit Sam's past, and unlock the truth buried within his unique mind. There are no right or wrong answers. You can just follow your instincts and values to complete your story. There are multiple endings that can be unlocked. Moving on to Worms Rumble. Unlike the previous Worms games, Worms Rumble is the first ever Worms game to feature real-time combat where players can dive into epic 32-player battle royale and deathmatch modes with full multi-platform crossplay. You can take part in seasonal events, daily challenges, and community collaborations for additional XP and rewards. The game has classic weapons like the bazooka, shotgun, and holy hand grenade to use at your enemies. There is also a game mode called The Lab, where you can experiment with new gameplay mechanics and weapons. You can earn XP and in-game currency to unlock and purchase weapon skins, outfits, accessories, and emotes. The game supports crossplay so you can play with your friends online across console and PC. Next, El Hijo, a Wild West tale. It is an exciting spaghetti western-style non-violent stealth game in which you guide a 6-year-old boy on his quest to find his mother. The journey begins when a farmer and her son are attacked by bandits who raze their farm to the ground. The mother decides to leave the boy at a secluded monastery to protect him. However, the place doesn't feel right and he plans his escape. In-game, you always have to sneak past the dangers of the world while using playful arsenal of tactical toys to bypass and distract enemies and make your way towards the goal. Most of the game, you'll be using shadows to hide yourself. Without needlessly adding new mechanics, the gameplay is extended naturally, as various of the existing mechanics are gradually introduced and then combined to increase the challenge. Moving on to Heaven. It is a story-based adventure RPG game. You can play it solo or as couch co-op. It features the story of two lovers who gave up everything and escaped to a lost planet to be together. You can venture through the mysterious landscape, explore a fragmented world, and fight against what's trying to tear them apart in this world. You play with both lovers at the same time. Your goal is to explore the planet, looking for parts and materials to fix your ship and make it a cozy home. It's a great pick for casual gamers, as you can enjoy moments of everyday life as a relatable couple while cooking meals, crafting, and collecting precious resources to make it to the next day. In combat, you fight against monsters by synchronizing actions, finding the perfect timing while controlling both characters. If you like romantic space adventures, this saga of two lovers trying to stay together against all odds will be a gem. There are a number of intimate relationship scenes, treated with maturity and humor, but don't expect porn.
I think we found the right technique.
Moving on to Door, Inner Child. It's a puzzle adventure platformer game and an indie game. You play as Nia, who goes on a trip to heal the mysterious and beautiful world of the soul. It has this unique aesthetic, and we found ourselves enjoying the moment each level and eagerly beating them to see the new eye candy that lay around the corner. It's simple to play, but it can get very challenging. The design is really nice and very different from other games of the same class. Each level has a unique feel to it, and the short story is interesting. Each stage in the soul world will change based on the emotions. Typically, you can freely change camera perspectives as you explore your stages, but certain emotions will lock your perspective or flip and tear the screen. Because of this, the camera perspective, character movement, types of puzzles, and your playstyle will change depending on the emotion. The exploration of the soul is expressed through the movement of the character, as well as split screen. Overall, a great game to try this December. And last but not least, Morbid, the 7 Acolytes. It is an isometric Souls-like action RPG filled with horrors and gore, where your duty, for which you have trained your whole life, is to defeat the 7 Acolytes, cursed and powerful beings possessed by malevolent deities called Gahars. You have to manage health, stamina, and sanity to traverse the world. The game features challenging foes, mini-bosses, and memorable large-scale boss fights with fully orchestrated music. To overcome these obstacles, you have to master the combat, the mechanics, as well as improve your character and gear through various RPG elements such as quests, perks, runes, upgrades, and looting. The game has a perk leveling system with multiple ways to build your character. There are over 25 unique weapons from swords to rifles. The game has deep immersive lore with NPCs that you can meet throughout the world. And that wraps up our list for best PC games of last month of 2020. But stay tuned as we have best games of 2020 upcoming soon. So if you have not subscribed yet, now is a good time. See you guys.